There's a saying that you hear a lot that I've been hearing my whole life about how you should live each day as if it was your last. Live each day like you're going to die tomorrow. And to be honest, I always thought that was really bad advice. Like, it's a really bad way of planning your life. How could you even live that way if you take that literally? I don't think I really got it. I never got the idea of that until I heard this story a few years ago about a guy who killed himself after being diagnosed with brain cancer because he'd rather die quickly than to deteriorate in his mental state and to put his family through that and to pay all of the medical bills. He'd rather just get it over with, and I can relate to that idea. I'm terrified, probably more than anything, of the idea of a mental deterioration in myself and in my loved ones. So I completely understand why he would do that, and after hearing that story, it was the first time that I really understood what it meant to be truly grateful for being alive. I thought about what it would be like to know that you were going to kill yourself, in an hour or a day or in a week, and just imagining what it would be like to know that this was going to be your last day. I imagined it, and it made me so grateful to be alive. I started just in the moment, just really enjoy the feeling of having air in my lungs and food in my stomach and looking at the sunshine, looking at the view outside my window. Everything just became really beautiful. The moment became beautiful. And I think maybe that's what people mean about living each day like it's your last. Maybe, I don't know. But today I want to talk about the idea of gratitude, and I thought that would be a good way to start, not just the gratitude that you get when somebody gives you a gift or somebody does something nice for you, where you're just like, oh, that's nice that they did that. They're a nice person for doing that. It can be a very powerful emotion, I think. But like all positive emotions, you can't make it last for your entire life. You can't keep promising yourself you're going to kill yourself the next day just to make you feel better. You can't just keep kidding yourself that each moment is supremely precious. There was a video recently released by this channel whose name I can't pronounce.
Kurz gesagt.
They were saying that gratitude is the key to having a happy life. It's not being rich or even being, surrounded by loved ones or whatever. It's just being able to feel grateful for what you already have. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because if you can't feel grateful for what you have, then you'll never be happy with, no matter how much you get, you'll never be grateful for it. That doesn't mean that everybody should be grateful for their situation. There's a lot of really bad situations that you can be in your life, and you don't have to always feel grateful. But if you are incapable of being grateful, you're incapable of being happy, basically. I kind of find the idea of trying to be grateful actively as a bit weird. It kind of conflicts with this other idea that I have, that I really believe in, that you need to be constantly improving yourself and trying to improve your life in order to build the best life that you can, and to be ready to face any trials and difficulties that come your way. You need to be the best person you can be, and to try to improve your relationships and improve yourself. I don't really know how to add that up with this feeling of being grateful for what you have and being happy with who you are and what your life is like. How can you be happy with what you have while still also pursuing something better? Coming back to what I said right at the start, if you were perpetually grateful for everything that you had, then you'd never go to work, right? If you were as happy living in a hovel, or eating bread and water for all your meals, if that was as good to you as anything else, then why would you ever go out and do anything? You wouldn't need to make friends or call your mum to have a conversation. You wouldn't need to fall in love or have a family or go on holiday or anything. Bitterness and resentment are the opposite of gratitude, and they're very harmful in a life, I think. To carry around bitterness about, other people or about your past or about your situation, it's very damaging to a person's psychology, I think, and certainly resentment against other people or against other groups of people is extremely damaging for a society and leads to a lot of really bad things that I won't go into, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But on the other hand, you can't say that it's wrong to have complaints or to be genuinely displeased with something when something has gone wrong or somebody's mistreated you. In order for there to be justice in the world, there needs to be some kind of retribution for people who do things wrong, as well as reward for people who do things right, who do things that are courageous and generous. So it's not like negative emotions have no place in our lives. When thinking about this series I'm doing about how to live a fulfilled and good life, I think it does seem like the thing that we're pursuing is to experience more positive emotions like gratitude and happiness, and fewer bad emotions like bitterness and anger, resentment, loneliness, depression. I've been watching a lot of videos about minimalism on YouTube. It's just one of those things that when you start watching them, YouTube starts recommending more, and I'm just kind of interested in the topic of materialistic minimalism, having the minimum number of things that you can live with and being conscious about the things that you own. There's a show on Netflix that was very popular last year and maybe the year before of Mari Kondo. I think it was called Tidying Up with Mari Kondo, and she's this Japanese lady who wrote a book called The Life-Changing Power of Tidying Up. She goes into these people's homes in this TV show and helps them to get rid of all of their excessive belongings. And I think the fact that this TV show is so popular, it's indicative of this feeling that we have in the modern developed world. It's really fun to buy things, right? To look at a possession, to look at a product and to imagine that in our home and how much better that would make our lives. And to buy it is in itself a kind of, it gives you a bit of a rush, right? It's exciting, it's fun to buy something and to bring it into your home and put it in a place and admire it and show it to people when they come around. And then after a few weeks, you don't even notice it. It's literally invisible. You don't look at it. Your eyes just completely run over it, and it gives you no more of those positive emotions. And then after a few years, it becomes a source of negative emotion for you because your house is full of things, and it makes your space feel smaller, and you just have so much stuff that doesn't make you happy. And then to throw it out is such a painful experience, and that's something that's also showcased in this tidying up show, is how much people are afraid to get rid of things. It's such a painful experience to get rid of a possession that's in your house that you know has a use, even if you don't use it. You think of it as a valuable possession, you don't want to let it go. I think I'm very interested in this relationship that people have with their belongings, and I try to be a bit more mindful about things that we bring into the house, and I don't feel so bad anymore about getting rid of the things that we don't need, because they actually do have a negative effect on your life. And anyway, coming back around to this feeling of gratitude, I think a lot of people in the modern world are having this dysfunctional relationship with their material belongings, and I think maybe one way to remedy that would be to be more minimalist and to be more grateful for the things that you have. The fewer things that you have in your home, the more you can feel a real attachment to the things that you do have. It's analogous to the human relationships we have, like a romantic relationship. You can either seek out these one-night stands that will be momentarily very exciting for you and very fun in the short term, or you can seek out these long-term relationships which will, if you cultivate them properly, will spark joy for you every day for the rest of your life, perhaps. There seems to be this idea that the dating apps that are popular at the moment and online dating and just hookup culture is making stable relationships less stable, because people are always aware of the number of other people that they could be with. It makes you doubt your own relationship. If you can see that there are many other options available to you, you might start thinking that those options will be better than the one that you have at the moment, the person that you're with. I really don't know if that is true. A lot of the people I know, a lot of young single people are, by that I mean unmarried. They're all in long-term relationships. People I know, they're not. I don't know many people who are sort of desiring that hookup culture lifestyle, but maybe I'm just out of touch with the youth of today. But I think gratitude is really important in a long-term relationship, or even in a friendship, or in a family bond, or anything. It's I think it's easy to feel really grateful for someone after they've come with a near brush with death, or after they've gone away for a while and you're meeting them for the first time in a year or a few years. When you see someone every day, it's easy to just get used to them being there and to think of them as just kind of normal. Like it's just normal that you're here and that you're doing nice things for me. They call it getting taken for granted. It's granted that you'll be here every day. And I think for any long-term relationship to work, you need to find a way of looking at this person as if you're seeing them for the first time almost, to really notice this person in your life and to be grateful for them. I think is a really useful technique. Those are my unorganized series of thoughts about gratitude, and if you have any additional thoughts or any embellishments on what I've said or any disagreements, then as always please leave your comments. I love to read your input into what I've said, and I do read all of the comments even if I can't reply to all of them. So have a great day, and be grateful for your life, and I feel grateful for you watching this. Thank you, and all the best.